Hello guys, how's everyone doing on this sunny Friday afternoon? Welcome to my channel guys, Joey Barnett TV. Hope everyone's doing well, hope you're all in the best of health, and yeah, I hope you're in the best of moods you can possibly be in. If you're alive and kicking, then that's the reason to be happy. That's the reason to get up, get out, get some fresh air in your lungs and feel that Christmas spirit, guys. So today, do you like my t-shirt? Oh, you can't really see it that way, guys, because there's obviously the camera's back to front. I'll stand the other way for a minute. That's Bruno having a drink, yeah. That's better, look, you can see it there. See it? So these are the t-shirts what I was talking about. Yeah. Hello, Bruno. Bruno's come to sit down. Every time I do a podcast, Bruno 100% comes over and sits down right by my feet. It's like he encourages me to do a podcast and he enjoys me doing it. I suppose because if when I'm talking to you guys, he knows that I'm in a good mood, I'm in a happy place. And dogs can pick up on human beings, how they are. So, for instance, if you're ill one day and you're laying down, I guarantee you, your dog will be laying down with you. And vice versa. If you're in a happy mood, your dog will be wagging his tail. So, yeah, it's great, man, and it's great when you can connect with your own animals. Is to be honest with you, you know, them sometimes they're more important than human beings, or just as important as human beings. I'm not lying with you. He's laying right down by my feet. I'm gonna spin the camera around and show you. I'm sitting on the stool and he's right down by my feet. So yeah, it really, and also when it comes to like vicious dogs really are only vicious if you get them maybe out of a homing centre or you obviously bring them up to be that way. But if you have a dog from a pup, you know, they're not vicious in one way whatsoever. Dogs are they act and they behave in life how you bring them up. So if you want a yard dog, if you want a dog to be biting everyone, to be vicious, then obviously you'd be locking it up in a yard and things like that. I'm not going to go into it because I don't like any cruelty towards dogs, and I think dogs what are left in yards in a kennel, especially in outside conditions in this weather, and just chucked a bit of meat for their food without having any contact with humans or other animals or pets is despicable. But that obviously that does go on with especially with fighting dogs. I've got quite a bit of experience actually around fighting dogs because I had one myself. Not that I was fighting it, but and I didn't know that it was a fighting dog until I actually got it. You know, but yeah, I got a fighting dog given to me by someone from up on the site, up on London site in Streatham Vale, the local site where was my back garden and my stomping ground, and I know all the boys on there, and they all know me, and yeah, I got the dog off of there from someone later on in life, and it was not being fault on the site itself, but someone on the site was keeping the dog for someone else. Let's just say that. He was a notorious dog all around Mitcham, and he's still spoken about today. And I'm talking, this is 25 years ago, and his name was Rebel, and he was a black pit bull. And yeah, he had a few. He mounted a dog on Fitzbridge called Tula, which was a staff, and she had pups. And I believe that the generation of pups are still here today, floating about. So yeah, Rebel lives on. But when I got him, he had all his cheek hanging down. He had, oh God, horrendous wounds. He lost a fight, lost one fight, probably out of about 100. He lost one, and that's when I got given him. But yeah, I took him to the vets, got him stitched up, and kept him. I'm at him for a good part of 5 years, and God, I will do another podcast about that. So what I'm saying is, guys, I've always had dogs around me. I've always been an animal and pet lover. Even when me and my missus go out for walks, you know, when we see birds flying about, wild birds, finches, parakeets, anything, robins, we always stop. Sam's into wildlife too, and I'd actually like to get into it a little bit more, probably, like when I probably retire from riding motocross bikes and doing the crazy things like I do. I'll probably end up getting one of these mad cameras and going out doing pictures of wildlife, because I find it very, very rewarding. And this leads me on to this little thing here, is what you get in life. And this is the dead honest truth. What you get in life is what you put in. So for instance, if you're a horrible person in life, you will 110% get horrible things come back to you. If you do horrible things in life, then horrible things will come back to you. If you hang about with horrible people, then you know you've got to be prepared to pay the consequences of your actions, because every single action does have a consequence. So it's down to you to pick and choose who you entertain in life and how you roll, you know. And this, you know, I'm not going therapeutic on you guys, because this mindset, what I've got now, didn't actually come to me until I was in my early 40s. Oh, sorry, yeah, about 42. I'm 53 now, and I didn't start getting reformed and cleaning my act up until I was 42. By the way, my Mrs. Sam has got, let's just say it's the flu. Would you say it's the flu, Sam?
Yeah, like head cold, sinuses.
So it's the head cold. She's laid up on the settee. She's in the right place. She's comfortable. The heating's on. She's got a blanket around her. But yeah, it's like a head cold, sinuses, chesty.
Yeah, like it's very congested.
Very congestive. She's having trouble breathing. We've been to Boots this morning.
It's definitely not COVID.
She's done a COVID test, by the way. It's definitely not COVID. There's quite a few people with this same thing. Basically, we went to Boots. We went down to the market this morning, down to the Friday market, to get a last minute bit of Christmas shopping, presents for people. I don't know. And yeah, we popped into the chemist and got some medication for Sam. So what we got was Beecham's.
Beecham's cold and flu capsules.
Do you hear that? Beecham's cold and flu capsules. They seem to be working, and why I know they're working is because of this is she's had it since Wednesday, and today, since she's been taking the medication, it's actually got worse, and that's a good thing, because you've got to get a lot worse until you can get better, and they seem to have brought it on a little bit more for her. So that's another thing what I learned in life, guys. You know, you've got to go all the way down if you're struggling in life, and you've got to go all the way down to rock bottom before you can climb your way up out of that hole and see the light. And that happened to me, you know, rock bottom. I was in the lowest place you could ever be in life, and in the worst place you could ever be in life. But yeah, I slowly climbed my way out of it, and put it all behind me and put it to bed, and used my bad experiences now to deter anyone from following my footsteps, or from thinking taking Class A and going to jail, committing crimes is glamorous, because, you know, I wasted a good part of 25-30 years in different establishments, in prisons, and you can never turn back the hands of time and get that time back. And, you know, it's only now at the age of 54 I really do, you know, don't regret my past, because I believe that your history is what makes you the person what you are today in everyone what listening to this video. But yeah, you definitely I've definitely learned by my mistakes, which is another vital thing what you need to do in life too, is learn by your mistakes. And don't beat yourself up too much about your wrongs and your mistakes neither, because you can actually make your mistakes, you know, you can use them in a positive way by not doing that same thing again twice, and learning by your mistakes. That's a very good mindset to be in, guys. So now we're 10 minutes in, and I'm just going to open this podcast up. So you've got a bit of a treat today, guys, because I haven't uploaded much content over the last few days. Well, I have. I've done a little bit about Bruno's raised dog's bowl, and I've done Bruno eating his food. Nothing really too hard hitting or anything like that. 1 minute, guys. I've just got to have a little refreshment. That's my refreshment. And maybe it could be a slight bit of an addiction going on there, because I'm very aware of addictions, because I've got an addictive personality, and I've done loads and loads of work on myself. I know how to point out addiction straight away, and addictions really turn to habits. And what a habit is, it might not be drugs, might not be anything what will get you intoxicated. It could be something like a Red Bull. But if you need that same fix, like on a day-to-day basis, and you actually go to the shop to get it, if you haven't got none indoors, that's an addiction. That's a habit, and that's probably what I've got with Red Bull. Not saying I abuse it, because I don't. I only have maybe 1 or 2 at the most Red Bulls a day. But yeah, that's they definitely do have wings, and they definitely do lift me up. They work for me anyway. It's like I've had a bit of the older thingy type of thing, you know. But this way, legally. So guys, I was going to be talking about, I can't mention a name to you, but what I can do is I can point you around the person what I'm going to be talking about. So his first name's Ronnie, and he's a professional snooker player. He's been a professional snooker player for probably 3 or 4 decades, and he's still playing today. He whinges quite a lot around the table, by the way, and he's got a bit of an attitude. Don't like doing interviews and says like he hasn't got no passion for the sport and things like that. It's not actually him I'm going to be talking about, but it's his dad. Now, his dad's name is Ronnie too. Now, I had a friend, and he had a garage, a car mechanic garage, and he used to work on X19 Fiats. That's how long ago it was, probably 20, 30 years ago. And the garage was opposite Streatham Common train station. His name was Kelvin. I can mention his name because of there's quite a few people on my channel what probably like to hear this story, what know Kelvin and know me from back in the day. Kelvin was a black bloke. He was a very like stylish fella, wasn't flash, worked for a living, worked his nuts off. He had another good friend of mine called Winston, Paul, who used to work there too, and I used to go to school with Winston. I was brought up with him from the age of 5 years of age. He had long dreads, and he later on moved to Jamaica. So if you're watching this, Winston, my old school friend, I hope you're doing well, brother. One love. So anyway, Kelvin now, he owned this garage, and he was a lovely fella. Had a missus, and he had 2 kids. He wasn't a woman beater. He never hit a woman in his life. He had old-fashioned morals, old-fashioned values. He had respect, the same as what I do. But like in all relationships, people argue. So Kelvin, cut a long story short, I'm not going to drag it out too long, so I'm going to do a part 2 on it. Kelvin went to a nightclub in Fulham, like a wine bar type of thing, with his missus. They was out the front. Well, they started having an argument, just a bit of a domestic at the bar, and it went outside onto the street, onto the pavement. So it was a bar with a canopy out there and tables and chairs and things like that. So it wasn't out the ordinary to go out on the street. So Kelvin went out onto the street and he was arguing with his missus. Unbeknown to him, someone come up by the side of him with a Holston pills bottle which had been broken and literally plunged him in the neck. The injuries were that severe that Kelvin bled out and passed away on the pavement. By the time the ambulance had even got there, Kelvin was gone. Now this happened in front of his missus, and it is a very, it's a taboo story, to be honest with you. It's not really been told on here by anyone. This is why I can't mention the surnames. So, now this is the snooker player's dad. He come up from the side of Kelvin and done him in the side of the neck, in the jugular vein. Kelvin passed away. Ronnie got arrested. He got arrested for, obviously, what he'd just done to Kelvin. I'm not going to mention the offence because there's only one charge what you can get arrested for. So he got arrested for it. Now, there is uproars, you know, because Kelvin was such a likeable bloke and he had such connections all around southwest London, east London, north, everywhere, west, Kilburn, Paddington. He had connections everywhere, and all for the right reasons. He wasn't a roadman. He wasn't on the pavement. He wasn't one like years and years ago, like we used to go out drapesing and things. He wasn't one of them. He always went to work, you know, he employed people to work for him. He had a little bit of a domestic with his missus, and as a result of that, he ended up getting done. And yeah, people still visit his grave today. So I don't want to drag the story out because I'm going to do a part 2 on it, guys. But around 10 years later, I met him. And I met him in Wayland Prison, HMP Wayland, which was a sea cat. And he's this small little creature, and he's a very, very flash, leery, arrogant man, just like his son is around this snooker table. I see him down the gym a few times, and it did cross my mind to just get one of the dumbbells, you know, while he was doing his bench presses, and just do him straight over the head with one. But yeah, you know, it had repercussions and things that happened to him just after, you know, he got his bird and that. So you know, and I certainly didn't want to get arrested again for another charge and never get out of prison again, guys. So yeah, I'm going to leave this one here. I'm going to do a part 2 to it tomorrow. Hope you enjoy my content. Hope everyone is having a good day. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Merry Christmas to you all. I've got much more hard-hitting content coming up and more big stories. So please share my channel, guys, for awareness. And thank you very much for all your positive feedback and all your positive comments, what I read on a day-to-day basis. It's you guys that inspires me. So keep them positive comments coming in, and I'll keep uploading content. Have a good day, everyone. Peace.